All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the regular board meeting. Today's Wednesday, November 13th, 2024, and I call this meeting to order at exactly 5:31 p.m. Roll call. Dr. Ariel Cruz. Rudy Corona. Frutoso Gomez.
Present.
Cristo Hernandez.
Present.
Alex Reina. Israel Barrial.
Present.
Alfredo Perez.
Present.
Mr. Tony Torres. Right. We have a quorum. Let's move on to agenda item 1.2, Pledge of Allegiance to the United States and Texas flag and invocation. Mr. Barrial.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today we have for the Pledge of Allegiance from La Paloma Elementary, under the leadership of Dr. Lucas Gomez, we have Cesar Valentin Balmares. Cesar is 8 years old and a third grader at La Paloma Elementary. He is the son of Zoraida Ramos Cepeda and Cesar Balmares. Cesar's favorite subject is mathematics. Some of his hobbies include soccer and esports. He also enjoys going to the park with his dog, Pancho. He is currently one of the top AR readers in his grade. Cesar won Most Valuable Soccer Player for the 23-24 school year. He also enjoys going to GT projects every year. Cesar would like to attend the University of Texas at Austin to study architecture. For our invocation from La Paloma Elementary, under the leadership of Dr. Lucas Gomez, we have Ava Leilani Islas. Ava is an 8-year-old third grader at La Paloma Elementary. Her parents are Martha Laura Gonzalez and Manuel Ubaldo Islas. Ava's favorite subject is mathematics. Some of her hobbies include cheer and soccer. This will be Ava's third year as a member of the cheer team. She also likes to spend time with her dog, Rock. Ava has been an A honor roll student since being in kindergarten. She looks forward to going to the GT field trips every year. Ava would like to attend college at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley to become a teacher. Everyone, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Dear God, thank you for bringing us together this evening as one community. We are grateful to our leader, Mr. Perez, our school board members, teachers, parents, and friends who work so hard to support our district and each of us students. Please guide our leader and school board members as they make important decisions for our district and our future. Give them wisdom, patience, and the courage to do what's best for our district. Help each of us students to grow, learn, and become the best we can be. Let our district and schools be a place of kindness, respect, and understanding where everyone feels welcome and valued. Bless our leaders, families, teachers, and everyone that supports us and helps us to remember that together we can make a positive difference. In your name we pray, amen.
Ava and Cesar, please step forward. At this time, I would like to ask the parents of Eva Leilani Islas and Cesar Valentin Belmares to stand up and be recognized. We would also like to thank and recognize Dr. Lucas Gomez, principal of La Paloma Elementary.
Okay, let's move on to agenda item number 2, special recognitions. Mr. Luis Gonzalez.
Okay, good evening, everyone. President Lopez, members of the Board of Trustees, and Superintendent Bettis, and members of the audience that are here with us and also online. We come to the portion of the meeting where we get to recognize the gold standard achievement of some of our students and staff and some of the great honors we've been receiving for this past month. So we like to begin with our student recognitions, and that's going to begin with the San Benito High School and VMA varsity tennis teams. The varsity tennis teams are by district playoffs, mixed doubles teams that went undefeated all season. So we're going to begin with our students. We have Crystal De Leon, 10th grader, San Benito High School. Lucero Gonzalez, 11th grade, San Benito High School. Morel Lopez, 12th grade, San Benito High School. Arlene Mendez, 11th grade, San Benito High School. Alejandra Piñon, 10th grade, San Benito High School. Estefania Ramirez, 11th grade, San Benito High School. Audrey Rios, 10th grade, San Benito High School. Brianna Salinas, 12th grade, San Benito High School. Emily Vargas, 11th grade, San Benito High School. And Isabel Verriad, 9th grade, Veterans Memorial Academy. We also have the varsity team members. These are the boys. We have Jonathan Gonzalez, 11th grade, San Benito High School. Santiago Gonzalez, 10th grade, San Benito High School. He won't be here. Cruz Gomez, 12th grade, San Benito High School. Joe Hernandez, 10th grade, San Benito High School. Nicholas Hinojosa, 9th grade, Veterans Memorial Academy. Ryan Lerma, 12th grade, San Benito High School. And Ricky Salazar, 12th grade, San Benito High School. At this time, we want to invite to honor our coaches that were responsible for these fine achievements of our students. They are Coach Ramirez, Coach Diaz, and Coach Cavazos. Little mention of their accolades, the varsity tennis team made the by-district playoffs for the third year in a row. The mixed doubles team of Ryan Lerma and Lucero Gonzalez went undefeated at district and during playoffs. So congratulations to these fine students on their achievements. I do want to mention our principal is San Diego High School is Mamie Lopez, and Veterans Memorial Academy principal is Gracie Martinez. They can join us as well if they are here. At this time, if we have parents that are in the audience that are parents of these fine students, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Thank you, parents, for your contribution of picking them up after practice and going to contests. So your support is valuable for our students. Thank you. Thank you, students. We appreciate you being here today. We're going to move on to our next group of students to be recognized, and this is our San Benito High School boys cross country team. They were third in district and was a team that was a regional qualifier. We have students, Joe Ibarra, 11th grade, San Benito High School. Kevin Martinez, 11th grade, San Benito High School. Victor Barrientos, 11th grade, San Benito High School. Israel Verrial, 12th grade, San Benito High School. And Jesus Milan, 9th grade, Veterans Memorial Academy. Coaches of these fine students are head coach Jose Torres and assistant coach Luis Garza. Again, the accolades for these students, they were third place team in district and were also a team regional qualifiers. So congratulations on your achievements this year. At this time, we could have our principals, Ms. Mamie Lopez from San Benito High School and Gracie Martinez from Veteran Memorial Academy. Please join us for our photos. If we have parents of these fine students, please stand to be recognized. Parents of these fine students, please stand to be recognized. Thank you, parents, for being here and also being there for their practices and their meets and everything that they engaged in this year. Thank you. Thank you, students. We're going to move on to the next portion of our recognitions, and that's going to be our staff recognitions. This year, in the month of November, we have National Parental Involvement Day, which is going to be November 21st, 2024. I'd like to read a little bit about what this involves, and then we'll identify and recognize the staff as they come in. November is National Engagement Month. November is Family Engagement Month, while on the third Thursday of November, it is the official National Parental Involvement Day. This year, it will be observed on Thursday, November 21st, 2024. Parental Involvement Day celebrates the invaluable contributions of parents, guardians, volunteers, and staff in our school and community. Parental involvement is not just about attending meetings or volunteering at events. It encompasses the many ways families support their children's education at home and in the community. Research shows that when parents are actively engaged in their child's learning, students achieve higher academic success, develop better social skills, and have improved behavior in school. This year, our Family and Community Engagement Department has made tremendous strides in fostering this engagement. From student workshops to family sessions, the FACE department has increased parent and volunteer participation and enthusiasm across the district. We would like to take the time at this moment to recognize some of the exceptional FACE staff members who go above and beyond every year. So we begin with our FACE staff, and these are our parent specialists that we're going to recognize first. They are housed at each campus throughout the district. We're very fortunate in our district to have one at every campus, and so we begin with recognizing those staff members. We begin with Zulema Cavazos, parent specialist at Angela G. Leal Elementary. Ezeli Partida, parent specialist at Dr. C.M. Cash Elementary. Alma Rangel, parent specialist at Dr. Raul Garza Junior STEAM Academy. Imelda Nino, parent specialist, who also serves as the lead parent specialist for elementary schools at Ed Downs Fine Arts Academy. Ben Gomez, parent specialist at Frank Roberts Elementary. Eufemia Salomon Garcia, parent specialist at Fred Booth Global Leadership Academy. Nilda Nunez, parent specialist at Judge Oscar de la Fuente Elementary School. Nora Verial, parent specialist at La Encantada Elementary School. Nelly Chirinos, parent specialist at Rangerville Elementary. Diana Mesa, parent specialist at Sullivan Environmental Science Academy. Dalia Cantu, parent specialist at Miller Jordan Middle School. Francis Gonzalez, parent specialist at Berta Cavazza Middle School. Sonia Gutierrez, parent specialist, also serves as the lead secondary parent specialist at Riverside Middle School. Hilda Ramirez, parent specialist at Veteran Memorial Academy and Collegiate Academy. Bethany Gonzalez, parent specialist, San Benito High School. And Omar Benavides, parent specialist at Positive Redirection Center. The next group of employees are our attendance officers who have the task of monitoring student attendance across all of our campuses, in particular our secondary campuses. So we have Ms. Norma Padilla, attendance officer, San Benito High School. And a note, she's not here today because her second grandbaby was born just this morning, so she is with her family. Rosemary Delgado, attendance officer, San Benito High School. Isela Mendoza, attendance officer, San Benito High School. Adriana Guetta, attendance officer, and also the McKinney Vento lead specialist, San Benito High School and the district. Francis Garcia, attendance officer, Veterans Memorial Academy. Lali Bedencourt, dropout prevention coordinator at Landrum Education Complex. Rosalinda Limon, secretary at Landrum Education Complex. And leading these fine groups of people is our director of the FACE department, Ms. Amy Rodriguez. I would like to mention that these are the staff members of FACE, but we also have a core of over 200 parent volunteers across our district that are part of the FACE family, and so we want to recognize them and say thank you to them as well. And on a personal note, I was so happy to lead this group for 17 years at the FACE department as well. So I know they're a great team. Thank you. I want to mention that the FACE department is responsible for many things. One, of course, is the engagement of parents and families in our district, but they're also responsible for the attendance monitoring of our students. But we also are they're also responsible for the foster care students and supporting foster care students in our district. And the big component that has been growing many years, and we've received many grants for this endeavor, is the McKinney Vento Homeless Student Program. And so this is one of the many things that they do, and many things they do on campus as well. So at this time, we can have our campus principals please stand to be recognized, because you are also part of the success of our parents. So principals, please stand so that you can be recognized for your contribution as well. Thank you, everyone, and have a good evening. And we will remember next Thursday is Parental Involvement Day nationally, and so we will recognize that on our social medias as well. Thank you. Yes. Mm-hmm. There weren't. Okay, thank you. Okay, we move on to the next portion of our recognitions for this evening. And so we're very excited about this because it's something that we worked really hard for, but it was also kind of the luck of the draw as well. So San Benito High School submitted, and our public relations department submitted for the T-Mobile Friday night 5G lights giveaway. In the fall, San Benito High School joined the Friday Nights 5G Lights giveaway, a dynamic social media campaign to support small-town high school programs across America. The campaign offered a chance to win an upgrade for our football stadium. Additionally, every participating high school was automatically included in the T-Mobile's 5K Fridays weekly sweepstakes with the opportunity to win a prize of $5,000. With the full support of our Public Relations Department, San Benito High School submitted multiple entries via Instagram showcasing engaging football-themed photos. Finally, in the week 5 of the campaign, San Benito High School secured a well-deserved $5,000 check win. Thank you to San Benito High School administration for taking advantage of this opportunity, and to the Public Relations Department for their incredible social media support. So here to present the check from T-Mobile, we have Mr. Fabian Esparza, PJ Beltran, and Hector Vargas, who will present the check for $5,000 to our principal, Ms. Mamie Lopez, San Benito High School, and to Maria Guajardo, our PR specialist for the San Benito CISD School District. So, Mr. Beltran, I think you wanted to share a couple of words.
All right, good evening, everybody. Again, my name is PJ Beltran. I'm a local retail store manager for Port Isabel T-Mobile store. I have my market manager, Hector Vargas, and our government account executive, Fabian Esparza, here as well to show some support. So similar to what was just said, right? T-Mobile's made kind of a huge emphasis on small markets, rural areas, and kind of giving back to the community, right? In multiple different forms. We've done, hometown grants. We've done kind of different initiatives to really engage with the community. At this point in T-Mobile, that's kind of our priority, right? How do we connect with our customers? And that means, directly embedding ourselves into the community. After, establishing a relationship with San Benito CISD, we were invited out to an event, kind of a kickoff for the school year, where we kind of presented these opportunities to some of the administrators. And, we got them to enroll. We kind of, gave them some of the insight, and then Miss Principal Lopez kind of ran with it, and they did an amazing job. So with those efforts, they were able to kind of, to lock in these winnings of a $5,000 grant, and it's to give back to the students, right? It's to kind of make an impact on the athletic events, the athletic initiatives that are coming from San Benito. I've personally had a lot of local, employees that graduated from San Benito High School. Nothing but great things have come from them. So, we would love to continue this relationship with them, and again, present them with $5,000 for their athletic department. So, thank you.
And on a highlight note, San Benito High School was the only high school in South Texas to receive the $5,000. So we're excited about that. We were not one of the top 16 across the nation to be eligible for the grand prize, which is a complete upgrade of their stadium, but we're going to try for it again next year. Our next presentation is from within. We have the class of San Benito High School class of 1984. They recently celebrated their 40th class reunion, and through their proceeds to put on the activities for the 40th reunion, they had some leftover monies, and so they decided as a group to donate $1,000 to the superintendent scholarship funding. So at this time, if we can have the members of the San Benito High School class of 1984, which include Ray Saldana, who was a class officer, our very own Ray Saldana. We have Gloria Martinez Rodriguez. Ruby Contreras, Joe Weaver, Norma Hernandez, Sandy Salcedo, and also a part was Bobby Benavides. He not here today, but he was a part of this presentation. So, Mr. Ray Saldana wanted me to emphasize this, that they are the first class to offer a scholarship or contribute to the Superintendent Scholarship Fundraising Committee. And so he also challenged me because I'm the class of '83, and he says, okay, you got to up it or put up or shut up, right? So get ready, because we're going to give you a check for $5,000. No, take that off the tape, please. Thank you, class of '84. I just want to mention, just really quick before I conclude, remember, Saturday is Greyhound time, so we want to support our Greyhounds on our social media pages. We'll be sharing our ticket information tomorrow, as Weslaco it won't be sharing that ticket information with us until tomorrow. So as soon as we get that link cleared, we're going to post that so that we can go and support our San Benito Greyhound football team in the by-district playoffs in Weslaco on Saturday at 2 o'clock. So go, Hounds, go. President Lopez, members of the board, and Mr. Bettis, thank you. That concludes our recognitions for this month. Thank you.
Mr. Luis, thank you so much for the special recognitions, and I want to thank everybody who came out today and participated in this special event. And once again, there's a lot of great things going on, so we want to thank each and every one of y'all. So at this moment, let's move on to agenda item number 3, public comment. Rudy?
The next item on the agenda is public comment. Before we begin, I will remind our audience members of the board's procedures for handling public comments. The public comment portion of our meeting is available to members of the public according to the following. At regular board meetings, the board shall permit public comment regardless of whether the topic is an item on the agenda posted with notice of the meeting. At all other board meetings, public comment shall be limited to items on the agenda posted with notice of the meeting. Anyone who would like to speak during public comment must sign in prior to the start of the meeting and list the topics they want to discuss. An individual's public comments to the board shall not exceed 5 minutes per meeting. Please keep your comments or criticisms civil and courteous. Please avoid using profanity and refrain from making personal attacks on others during your opportunity to speak. We ask that you do not discuss students who are not your own children. In addition, the participating individual shall adhere to the following. State their full name and what organization or group, if any, is being represented. Indicate the topic about which they wish to speak. Shall refrain from commenting directly on any individual, employee, or public official by name, but may refer to a specific employment area, job title, or the board as a whole, and shall refrain from attacks on individuals. Lastly, if after at least one warning from the presiding officer, any individual continues to disrupt the meeting by his or her words or actions, the presiding officer may request assistance from law enforcement officials to have the individual removed from the meeting. If a speaker is seeking board resolution of a specific complaint, that concern should be addressed through the district's grievance process. District policy DGBA has been established for addressing employee complaints. Policy F and G is the avenue for filing parent complaints, and Policy GF addresses community member complaints. Grievance forms can be obtained at any campus administration office or at the district's central administration offices. Thank you. Our first speaker is Ms. Sandra Tumberlinson.
Good evening, Superintendent Perez and board members. My name is Sandra Tumberlinson. I am the treasurer of the San Benito Historical Society. And we have a couple of officers here with us tonight, Mr. Wayne Powell, president, and Ms. Tootie Madden, vice president. Greetings from the San Benito Historical Society. We hope your new school year is going well. We have a couple of gifts for you tonight: a souvenir booklet of the Bobby Morrow marker dedication, and a pound of fresh pecans, our current fundraiser, and we hope you enjoy them. We would like to use this portion of the school board meeting to publicly thank the board for allowing us to place and dedicate the Bobby Morrow State Historical Marker on August 24th, 2024 at the stadium bearing his name. Without the district's assistance, it would not have been possible, and it was a wonderful success. Thanks to Superintendent Perez, and his cooperation never ended. Thank you, sir. But more than anyone, we thank Mr. Luis Gonzalez and Mr. Ray Saldana for their extraordinary assistance in this endeavor. Superintendent Perez, would you permit Mr. Luis Gonzalez and Mr. Ray Saldana to come forward? Not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. Okay, go ahead. Okay, yes. Mr. Gonzalez, you gave sparkle to the event. Your ideas to have the cheerleaders, the bells, football team, and band present gave the day its energy. And the Olympic-themed cookies made by our culinary arts students were perfect. I know that was your idea. The audience was thrilled to watch Bobby Morrow videos on the big screen, TVs. Mr. Saldana, your team of men did an outstanding job of installing the historical marker with precision. And when pictures are taken, the American flag stands proudly in the background in the stadium. Great judgment. You didn't just place it in the ground, you added artificial grass and pavers, giving it a professional finish. The stage and tents were set up in the perfect location, and thank God, and you, for those tents on that very, very hot day. School board members, without these men's contributions, this event would not have had the polish and expert touch befitting an Olympic winner. These gifts are small tokens of our gratitude and appreciation. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This begins our second topic. May I present Mr. Lonnie Davis? Would you stand? A Harlingen businessman born half a block from the colored school in El Jardín and a board member at Calandra Black History Museum. Thank you, Lonnie. As we present you our $1 a year rent check, and we're very grateful. We'd like to tell you about our newest project at the Calandra Black History Museum, located at the former boot camp, corner of Stenger and Daughtry Street. From 1908, even before the school district was established, there have been Black residents in San Benito. Most people don't know that. located mostly in the El Jardín neighborhood. This proposed 7-foot wide by 6-foot tall monument will have over 600 names of those Black residents etched on it, so that their lives, their contributions to San Benito, their historical importance to the area will never be forgotten. San Benito is the oldest town in the new Magic Valley that was founded with the coming of the railroad in 1904. And the discovery of the Resacas opening the doors to the crop irrigation and farming. It is also the home of the first school for Black children supported by a school district. And for a long time, it was home to the largest Black population in the valley. Thanks to the cooperation of the school district and you, it is also the only Black History Museum south of San Antonio and Houston, something you should be very proud of. We would like your support to erect this monument to the Black families who made San Benito their home over 116 years ago on the grounds of the old Calandret Colored School. Cameron County Commissioner David Garza and the entire commission, including County Judge Eddie Trevino, secured a $25,000, just got it today, a $25,000 grant for this project. Now we're asking your approval to place it on district property. Would Mr. Lonnie Davis please tell us what this monument means to him?
Before I tell you about the monument, I have to tell you about two ladies that called me about 4 years ago. Ms. Tomlinson and Ms. Madden had come to San Benito to the Calandret Museum. It was an empty building, and they were sitting there waiting on me. And when I walked in, I don't know whether it was the worst day or the best day of my life. I was born in San Benito, 345 Winchell Street. The house is still standing. I'm 81 years old, and it was there a long time before I was born. My family was a great family in San Benito. And if you remember, some of you guys are too young, and I'm 81 years old, and it will always be dear to my heart about a family. And that's what El Jardín was about in those days, family. I want to thank you guys for letting us enjoy that little piece of land. Thank you, San Benito Independent School District. I appreciate it.
Lonnie, you were joking about me too, right? He was joking about being the worst day of his life when he met Tootie and I. We've never let him rest. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Cumberlandson. Our next speaker is Ms. Mary Maney.
Good evening, Board. Superintendent Perez, President Lopez, all the members, community, and our staff that is here, as well as some teachers and all that are listening. My name is Mary Maney. I am a teacher at San Benito High School. I have been here for 10 years now. I am a transplant, so I come from an area that's a lot different from this. I do want, and I do emphasize this every time, I really wish you guys could truly understand how appreciative and just how good of a staff and a background that we have to keep us at the level we are. Right now, the high school is working without a bell system, so the classes aren't introduced or exited out. You know, the tardy bells aren't ringing. We have a fantastic security staff that actually helps keep this kind of under control. It is a pain in the neck, though, to try to keep up with the time. We've got a lot of subs, so, you know, they're having to figure out what the time systems are. It's a very inconvenient and adding a hardship into the job as a teacher there. So it would be really, really nice if we could get a bell system at least by the beginning of the next semester. Yeah, okay, but it just needs to work. I kind of even would wish the old big ones that clang, clang, clang would, would even work. The other thing is, again, as teachers at this district, we put in about 19 hours of videos every year. And they have come to expect, not just them, but me too, the $500 at Christmas is that we were having as a stipend and that were originally set up because they were paying us for watching those videos. Again, would like to see if you guys can include it in. A lot of people are still looking for it, and if you don't worry, I'll keep mentioning it every month. I use the Jewish grandmother philosophy there. But one of the things also, as a thank you, this school district has a infrastructure of different departments that are very, very supportive. You just had Mr. Santana, and you've had the PR department. You've had other ones that are coming up here and being recognized on what they do. They make a difference for all the clubs and the teams that are trying to do things. So I know that we just ran a race, and everybody was incredible. The maintenance department that helped us was fantastic. Purchasing lets me borrow their trucks so we can move all of our equipment. So it's one of these that it's just that we're a team. It's not just a school district made up of individual little schools. We are a team. We've got that family type commitment to it. And again, that's something we need to celebrate is family and each other, because we are in the month of Thanksgiving. And be thankful for what we do have and what supports we have that make us as great as we are. Thank you very much, and please don't forget about the $500.
Thank you, Ms. Maney.
Okay, next we got agenda item number 4, board reports. We don't have anything here formally to express, but I'm going to say a few words, and I'm going to allow every board member here to say a couple of things before we get to the superintendent report. Month after month, it is for me, it's an honor and a privilege to be up here looking at all the wonderful staff and all the great things going on, especially after recognitions and so on and so forth. And it's a fresh breath there to come in here and see all the great things going on in San Benito ISD. And I can't thank you enough, each and every one of y'all, because we know it takes everybody as a team holistically, from our ancillary departments all the way to our teachers, and everybody in between. So I know sometimes you guys don't see it enough or hear it enough, but I will make it a mission of mine to express that every single time I'm up here, to thank you, each and every one of y'all, for all the hard work and dedication you guys give to this district. And it's very obvious because the culture's changed, and there's a lot of great things going on here. So it takes everybody, it takes a village to turn things around. So when I mention, when we say gold standard, we mean it. So we're gonna do everything we can to give you the resources to do that. And so I stand by that, and I'm a parent, so that's an expectation. So once again, I want to thank each and every one of y'all. Month after month, we're doing great things, and yes, we got some challenges ahead of us, but we're gonna continue moving forward. And as you can see, I'm very grateful to have a wonderful board up here of wonderful people, very smart, intelligent people that have a lot of great knowledge. And at this moment in time, I'm gonna allow them an opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Good evening. Now, first of all, I just want to say congratulations to the students and the faculty that were recognized a little while ago. I apologize, I was running late, got off of work a little later than I expected. But once again, congratulations and thank you for all you do.
Again, I want to just follow up with what my colleague said. We appreciate all the good work that you guys do. I am a grandpa, so I got 2 grandkids. All my kids are already graduated, married, but I just want to say thank you. I'm a product of 1973. I heard 84 different years. 73, class of 73. So thank you all so much. We appreciate it. The best of holidays that are coming up. The best of holidays are coming up, and you guys enjoy it with your families. Thank you.
I would just like to also add, thank you guys for all your hard work. I know it feels like we're putting a lot of pressure on our staff, and we only want the best for San Benito. So, and I want you all to know that the change that's been occurring here in this district is being recognized outside of our district in a positive manner, which is a plus. So it is being recognized, and we are thankful for all the hard work that you and your staff are doing. So, and it's all about our kids at the end of the day. So thank you guys so much.
You're going to be the last one, I know. It's okay. First of all, I want to thank God. Another day, like Mr. Gecki used to say, another day, another $1.20. But let's get to the most important part. I really, really appreciate each and one of you. But let's not forget about all our staff, because they are the ones that really, really, work out there every single day for us, for the district. They work long hours. I know some of the departments are not being, sometimes they're not recognized here, and I wish we can do that to every single department and every single staff member from our school district. Okay. Please be safe out there and enjoy your holidays. Also, one more thing that I really, really want to focus on, I know there's been a lot of, I would say, gossip out there, about things that are not being done with the district, of course, the construction and all those things, but we're really working on it. And I'm very, very proud of all of our board members. Now we're working as one team of 8, like we call it. Okay. Thank you for your time, and God bless you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for sticking around. I just want to say thank you to all the leadership. I've had a chance to speak with most of y'all and visit most of the campuses, and I've been beyond impressed. I'm very excited to be here, very excited to be serving you and the community and the students. And we're here for you guys, every single one of you. We're one team with one objective, is to, produce the best students that we can and give them the best opportunities that life has to offer. And I know that we have that here with every single one of you all. So thank you. Like I said, to the leadership, thank you to your staffs. It takes all of us to accomplish this. Thank you.
Thank you, board members. At this moment, let's move on to agenda item number 5, Superintendent Report. Mr. Pettis?
Yes, good evening, everyone. First, before I get into my holiday speech here, I do want to recognize all of our employees. I know a couple of days ago we had our Veterans Day celebrations at our campuses, but I do want to recognize and thank for all of your service, all of our employees who are members, employees or not. One of our board members, I want to recognize Mr. Villarreal, also a member of the military, so thank you for your service. As we approach the Thanksgiving holiday, I wanted to take a moment to reflect on the progress we've made this school year and express my gratitude for the dedication and the spirit of the community that has shaped our journey so far. As we head into this time of the year, I want to express my sincere gratitude for everyone's efforts, from the classroom to the cafeteria, from the bus drivers to the school office staff. Each and every member of our school community plays an essential role in creating a positive and nurturing environment. I'm incredibly proud of the teamwork and the commitment displayed by our students and staff. In the coming weeks, we'll continue focusing on supporting our students academically, socially, and emotionally. As always, our teachers and staff are working hard to meet the diverse needs of every child in our district. We look forward to the various holiday events, performances, and celebrations that showcase and talent the creativity of our students. As we get into our Thanksgiving break, I encourage you to take this time to relax and enjoy quality time with your loved ones. Wishing all of you a joyful and restful Thanksgiving break, and thank you for being a vital part of our family.
Thank you, sir. Let's move on to agenda item number 6, reports and presentations. At this moment, we can move on to agenda item 6.1. We have the audit presentation by Mr. Montemayor. Can you please step up, sir? Thank you.
Superintendent, it's great to be here with you this evening. My name is Matthew Montemayor. I'm an audit partner with Carr, Riggs & Ingram, and I'm here today to present to you an overview of your annual comprehensive financial report. You should have a bound copy of the report with you. We worked with your finance department and your CFO to ensure completion of the audit, as well as compiling this report. And it's a fairly large report, well over 190 pages. So what I've done is I put together a PowerPoint presentation. I don't know, it might be up on the screen, but I have slides here. So I'm going to do my best to present a high-level overview of the entire report. I'll go ahead and cover a little bit of information, such as our independent auditors reports that we've issued, and as well as cover some financial information for the board as well. So first slide is a little bit of an introduction. Myself, I did serve as the engagement partner on the audit, and as the engagement partner, I am responsible for overseeing all stages of the audit. I'm also responsible for developing and overseeing the development of the audit plan, reviewing field work, and authorizing the report prior to its issuance. I did have an audit manager that was present during field work. Her name's not with us today, but her name is Samantha Atkinson. She's a CPA in our Harlingen office, and she served as the audit manager on the audit engagement. One thing I always like to point out at Carr, Riggs & Ingram as part of our quality control process is we have a separate second partner that serves kind of like a second set of eyes, and they review selected work paper documentation. They also review the audit report for technical disclosures just to ensure the audit report is in accordance with standards and to ensure you have a quality report in front of you. So this audit, we did have a quality control reviewer, or we call it engagement quality control reviewer on the audit. A little bit of an overview. I'm going to just highlight some of the components of the report. Your district does go above the minimum requirements, and you present an annual comprehensive financial report. And what makes it an annual comprehensive financial report is you include additional transmittal letter as well as include an additional statistical section. There's various other components of the report. One item that I always like to point out to the board is the section that's called Management's Discussion and Analysis. That section of the report, if you didn't have time to flip through every page and go through every schedule and read every note disclosure, if you read that section of the Management's Discussion and Analysis, you would get a good narrative summary, a good narrative overview of the entire report. It has condensed financial information of all of the district's funds in one presentation. It also has fund level information about the district's general fund, as well as budgetary highlights as well. So I encourage board members, if you had a chance to go and look through that section of the audit report. One thing that I would like to point out is on one of my slides is the district was awarded the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. That award is given by the GFOA, the Government Finance Officers Association. Currently, the district has submitted the 2023 audit report to the GFOA, and they're still in the process of reviewing that. It's kind of like a stage where they critique the report and ensure that it meets all the technical requirements, and if you meet all the technical requirements, you're awarded the certificate, and you did receive the certificate for the fiscal year 2022 report. Executive summary, I'm going to go ahead and kind of condense and describe the audit process. For audit process it could be a complex process. There's multiple stages of the audit, but I like to describe it as consisting of two components. You have the audit of your financial statements, and then you also have an audit of your federal awards. We call that a single audit. Your district receives and expends over $750,000. That's the threshold for requiring a federal single audit. The threshold has increased. Next year it goes up to $1 million, but your district is a Title I district, and you receive a lot of Title I funds, so you'll always be above that threshold. In the financial statement audit, so we were engaged by the board to audit your financial statements and render an opinion on whether or not your financial statements present fairly in all material respects. And we audit the governmental activities, each major fund, and the aggregate remaining fund information of the district. So all funds of the district are encompassed and covered by our audit procedures. The audit is also performed in accordance with government auditing standards, since you are considered a local government as a Texas public school district. There's government auditing standards that are required to be followed throughout the audit process. The second component is our audit over your federal awards, as I mentioned, your single audit. And what we do in the single audit is we audit for compliance regarding the compliance requirements described in the OMB compliance supplement. So the federal awards and the federal grants that the district receives, there's strings attached. You have to comply with certain compliance requirements, whether it be certain procurement requirements, allowable costs, activities allowed, reporting, and things of that nature. So we're auditing for compliance with that, and that's encompassed by the audit of your federal awards. During the year, we had 3 major programs that we audited. Those programs are your child nutrition cluster. Those are your food service operations. Also, we audited the child and adult care food program, also part of your food service operations. Those two go hand in hand. And then the third and final program that we audited was supporting effective instruction. That was formerly improving teacher quality state grant. So that was the third program that we audited for compliance. To summarize the results and the reports that we've issued throughout the year, throughout the audit, at the end of the audit, we did issue 3 reports. The first one is our independent auditor's report, and that's on page 19. So in that report, we do provide an opinion on the fair presentation of the financial statements. That's the main objective of our audit. And the audit opinion that we have issued is an unmodified opinion. You could consider that to be a clean opinion. It's one of the best opinions that you could receive as a result of an audit. It'd be one that you as a board would be anticipating and wanting to receive, something that taxpayers in the community would be wanting the district to receive as well. The second report that we've issued it's a long title. It's our independent auditor's report on internal controls over financial reporting and compliance and other matters in accordance with government auditing standards. It's a mouthful, right? But that report, we paraphrase it and call it our Yellow Book report or our GAS report. That report can be found on page 179 in your bound copy. And in that report, we do not issue an opinion, but rather we describe the results of testing internal controls over financial reporting, as well as compliance with laws, regulations, contracts, and grant agreements. So if we came across any deficiencies in internal controls that we consider to be material weakness or significant deficiency, we call those findings. Those would be included in the GAS report. We did identify one finding that we identified and considered it to be a significant deficiency, and that finding, when we discussed it with management, and they provided a corrective action plan, and all of that information is included in the bound report in the summary schedule of findings and question costs. The audit of federal awards, that's the third report that we've issued. That's a report on compliance, and that could be found on page 183. That report, we do issue an opinion on whether or not the district complied in all material respects, and the opinion that we've issued is an unmodified opinion as well. In that report on page 183, it also discusses and describes the scope and results of our testing of internal controls over compliance, which is a little bit different from financial reporting. So if we came across weaknesses that we consider to be a material weakness or significant deficiency in internal controls over compliance, those would be included in this report. And we did not identify any weaknesses that we consider to be a material weakness, nor did we report any significant deficiencies. And the programs I have listed on here, just to give you kind of a thought of what the balances in those programs. The child nutrition cluster was $9.2 million. The child and adult care food program is roughly $994,000, and the supporting effective instruction state grant was around $1.03 million. So those are the major programs that we audited, and those gave us the coverage that we needed. So that's a summary of the results of the audit. Again, all of that is summarized and highlighted in the schedule of findings and question costs. It will list all the information that I just covered. So next, I'm going to go ahead and jump into a little bit of some financial highlights for the board and cover some information over the district's net position and changes in net position. But before I do, if there's any questions, any board members have any questions thus far? No? Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on and cover your net position summary. So your net position summary serves as an indicator of overall financial health of the district. And this net position summary, you can consider this to be a balance sheet. It'll have information of the district's total assets, deferred outflows of resources, liabilities, and deferred inflows of resources, and the difference between the two being the district's net position. And this also presents a comparative comparative summary here for 2024 compared to last year's 2023. And for 2024, you can see in total, the district's total assets and deferred outflows of resources, those decreased from the previous years about $12.3 million. In a couple of other slides, I'm going to kind of cover some of the primary factors that contributed to that. And your total liabilities compared to prior year, those also decreased about $9.5 million. So the net effect of the decrease in assets and the decrease in liabilities was a decrease in net position of about $2.8 million. Some of the factors that contributed to those decreases: total assets and deferred outflows of resources. As I mentioned, those were down $12.3 million. Your capital assets, net of accumulated depreciation, that reflected a $5.7 million decrease. You still had additions and capitalized certain assets throughout the year. However, depreciation expenses required to be reported and recorded in accordance with GAAP, and you recorded that depreciation expense, and that exceeded your total additions throughout the year. There was also a $4.5 million decrease in current assets. That's primarily in cash and cash equivalents. You still maintain your investments in the way you should and to maximize earnings. However, total current assets decreased by about $4.5 million. And then the last decrease is in deferred outflows of resources. That's roughly $2 million, and those are related to TRS pension and OPEB amounts. These are amounts that are determined by actuarial assumptions, by actuaries that work on the TRS pension plan for the entire state. Those are your assets, so let's look at your liabilities for a second. And as I mentioned on the previous slide when we saw the net position summary, your liabilities and deferred inflows decreased $9.5 million. Different factors for that decrease. Those will fluctuate liabilities as the district issues new debt or new bonds, or as you continue to pay down existing long-term liabilities. During 2024, the district did not issue any new bonds or tax anticipation notes or anything of that nature. You just continued to pay down your existing debt as you should. And so the result of that was a decrease in total liabilities. Some of the other factors here is also liabilities and deferred inflows related to TRS net pension liability. That decreased about $2.9 million. So altogether, liabilities decreased, which is offset the decrease in your total assets as well. Changes in net position, this kind of shows you how you got there. This details the district's total revenues, program revenues, and general revenues, and also covers total expenses. And you'll see that total general revenues and total revenues of the district, $140 million, pretty flat from comparison to the prior year, down about $256,000. Total expenses, however, increased from the previous year, $4.9 million. And if you looked line by line, you'll see that some of the functional categories that had increase in expenditures, mainly in instruction, as well as facilities and maintenance and security and monitoring services. Those were the functional categories that had increases in expenses. Next slide, I'm going to go ahead and cover some of the factors that contributed to the fluctuations in revenues and expenses. And as I just mentioned, revenues were kind of flat, right? Those stayed about, in comparison to prior, about $256,000, but there were some swings in different revenue categories, and property taxes mainly decreased about $2.6 million. And if you recall, the compressed tax rate is lowered throughout the year, and that results in lower tax revenue. The compressed tax rate is to offset the increase in values. However, overall, property tax revenue did decrease. Operating and capital grants, that decreased $1.7 million, and that was primarily the result of ESSER funds coming to an end. These ESSER funds were issued as a result of COVID, and they're nearing the time frame of when they're nearing their period of performance. And so as those funds run out, you're resulting in less operating grants reflected in total revenues. Both of those decreases were offset by the increase in state aid. As you have less of a local fund assignment, the state allots more in foundation school funds, and that increase was about $2.2 million for foundation funds. And then total expenditures increased. This is a government-wide level, $5 million. The increase is mainly in instructional expense of $3.8 million, also in facilities maintenance and operations, as well as security and monitoring for a combined increase of 1.6. So those are some of the factors that led to the increase in total expenditures. A lot of numbers out there, right? Like covering a lot of financial information, but what I would say on these government-wide financial statements, they compose all of the district's funds and all the district operations in one presentation. This isn't a single fund. These are all the funds of the district and all the operations of the district. The next two slides are just some tables that are directly extracted from some of the note disclosures in the audit report. The first table is your capital assets. And as you can see, when I first started going over net position, I said capital assets decreased, and that was because you recognize about $8.3 million of depreciation expense throughout the year, and so assets are capitalized, and then they're depreciated over their estimated useful life, and so those balances will decrease as you recognize additional depreciation expense. Long-term debt. This schedule is also a snippet from your audit report. And long-term debt, you'll see, total additions. There was no additions. You didn't issue any new debt during the year. You just continued to pay down the existing debt as you should in accordance with your debt service requirement schedules. After that, I'm going to go ahead and finalize this presentation and cover a little bit of information on the fund level because the district operates at the general fund level. You budget for things like property taxes and state grants, and so that's the main operating fund of the district. So I'm going to go ahead and cover a little bit of information on the general fund. And for the general fund in 2024, your most recent fiscal year, the general fund had expended revenues of $108.8 million and expenditures of $115.2 million. So your general fund balance decreased about $6.4 million from the previous year. If you looked at prior year, you'll see fund balance pretty much stayed the same. It only had a decrease of $0.03 million. If you looked at some financial indicators, unassigned fund balance as a percentage of expenditures, the district has about 36.3% of unassigned fund balance and expenditures. That amount was 46.1 last year. One of the other indicators that is looked at just to see how well off the general fund balance is how many days of operations do we have in assigned and unassigned fund balance. And from the calculation on your financials, you're sitting at about 133 days of operations. So TEA's financial indicator is 75 days. The district is well above that at 133 days. Days cash on hand is another financial indicator that's looked at by TEA, and that's a graded indicator. If you have over 90 days, you get a full 10 points. The district was at 113 days of cash on hand, so you're well above the 90-day threshold that TEA likes to target. Some of the significant changes for the result of your decrease in fund balance of $6.4 million was instructional expenditures did increase over the prior year, and that's just primarily a result of the ESSER funds coming to an end. A lot of those operations that are funded with ESSER, that were supplanted with ESSER funds, are now coming back to the general fund, and that, as a result, those expenditures will be reflected in the general fund side. The next two slides is going to cover the single audit, and I kind of went over that, but the single audit, this is our summary of independent auditors' results. That summarizes everything I just covered as far as the opinions that we've issued as a result of the audit, and also covers lists the major programs that we audited. If you wanted to see a comparison of the federal funds expended for the current year as opposed to last year, the district expended $32.1 million compared to $37.7 million in the previous year. So still over $30 million of federal funds expended, and primarily your big programs are Title I, special education, child nutrition cluster. Those are the big. We call those the big three, right? You're always going to have those grants in your operations. And then lastly, our required communications. There's a separate packet that we've issued in your audit report. This is nothing unique to your district. We make these communications with every board. We are required to by professional standards. If we had any significant difficulties throughout the audit, we'd be required to communicate those significant difficulties. We did not have none. If we came across any disagreements with management throughout the audit, we'd be responsible for communicating those disagreements. There were no disagreements throughout the audit. Your financial statements contain significant various estimates, and we've evaluated those estimates and determined they're reasonable in relation to the financial statements. That separate packet also has a listing of the audit adjustments that were posted throughout the audit. Those have been posted and reflected in your district's financial statements. There were 2 past adjustments that were immaterial, weren't significant, and so we passed on adjustment on those. And then finally, there was written representations that were obtained by management, letting us know that they provided us all the information that we needed to conduct the audit and that they accept responsibility for these financial statements as they reflect the district's operations. And the last item is the advisory comments. We had some advisory comments that were advisory in nature, and we discussed those with management at the conclusion of the audit, and they provided the response to those as well. So that is all I have. I hope I didn't take too long and I kept it kind of summarized, but that is a high-level overview of the entire report. And but what I would take from this presentation is the results of the audit is we did issue an unmodified opinion over both your financial statement audit and your audit of compliance in accordance with uniform guidance. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to address them.
Making it simple, we received a gold star.
Sure. You can say that, yes.
Well, Mr. Montoya, I want to thank you so much, as always, man, class act, and I want to thank you so much for that presentation.
Yes.
So, and once again, I want to thank our staff, from our finance department. Thank you all so much for all your hard work. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Montoya. I just want to thank you and your staff for being here. I know you're all over here for a bit. We're on time this year.
Yes.
So we didn't have to come into Thanksgiving week.
Sure.
So we're happy about that. But no, I do thank you for everything you all do. I want to thank Ms. Indira and Chris and Monica for what they do in our department. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. At this moment, let's move on to agenda item 6.2, the academic health report.
Ms. Cornett?
Good evening. Good evening. I'm excited to provide an update on our district's 5-year strategic planning process. This plan will serve as our roadmap for the next 5 years, guiding our efforts to improve academic outcomes, strengthen our workforce, enhance communication, family engagement, and ensure financial sustainability. Our district's 5-year strategic plan is grounded in our mission, vision, and our beliefs. A critical aspect of our planning process has been engaging our community. We understand that the success of our strategic plan is necessary to have input from all our stakeholders. So therefore, we started our plan by sending out a survey to staff members, parents, and community members. We asked them to go ahead and provide input, and then our next step was to go ahead and hold our town hall meeting. So we held our town hall meeting, again, where we opened in dialogue with parents, staff members, and students, and our district employees to provide our leadership team to identify areas of benefits and areas of that we needed to go ahead and refine. Based on this dialogue, we started to identify our goals. And so our first goal is based on student academic achievement and college, career, and military readiness. For the first goal, we have the 4 objectives that are listed there. Our next one is human resources. So here we're looking at our staffing. And so we have 3 objectives for this specific goal. Our third one is focused on communication and family and community engagement. And our 4th priority goal is focused on finance. And so we have to look at our next steps. This is our preliminary process. Now we're going to go ahead for each one of those objectives that's listed. We will be identifying 3 action steps for each one. Then from there, we'll go ahead and develop our progress measures and develop our outcome goals for the end of the year. Oh, now we're going to go ahead and go to the, does anyone have any questions on that? Nope. We'll go ahead and be bringing this, once we meet with the team and we refine the plan, we will be bringing it for board approval in January is our target date. Okay, it's a living document, so know that there will be updates and changes as we're progressing through it through the next 5 years. Now I'd like to go ahead and talk about our bullying video. Is there something on there? Oh, there we go. Okay. So next, as part of our ongoing efforts to address bullying and promote a safe and respectful environment for our students, we went and have this project that we had some students to work on and we're very excited about. And at this time, I'd like to go ahead and bring up Ms. Nancy Casas, our Director for After School Program, to kind of provide a little bit more information on this.
Good evening, Superintendent Bettis, Board Member, Board President Lopez, and board members. So the video you're about to see is a collaborative project on bullying awareness. It was created by one of our ASP family engagement specialists, Jessica Diaz. She's one of our technology gurus in our department, along with our media students and our student actors from Rangerville, Oscar de la Fuente, Ed Downs, and it's all part of our after-school program, our media, and our drama clubs. Bullying is an issue that affects children in schools, communities, and beyond. It is our responsibility as educators, mentors, and role models to teach students not only about the consequences of bullying, but also about the power of kindness, empathy, and respect. Through this video, our students share their understanding of bullying, how it impacts those involved, and how we can all take steps to create a safe and supportive environment for everyone. This project reflects our commitment to helping our students build character and compassion, and we're proud of the insight and dedication our students have shown. So I hope you enjoy it.
Today we will be going around Ed Downs asking drama club students how they can stop bullying. Caleb, how can you stop bullying?
I can stop bullying by helping kids that get bullied.
How can you help the kids that get bullied?
I can help the kids that get bullied by telling them to walk away from the bully, or if the bully's fast, then just ignore them and walk away like you never hurt them.
Bess, how would you stop bullying?
I'll stop bullying by telling them to stop and don't do it again. If they keep on doing it, I'll tell a teacher or the principal if it gets too much out of hand.
Gabby, how can you stop bullying?
I can stop bullying by telling the teacher or a trusted adult. kindness begins. We're all on the same team. Everyone is welcome here.
Be a buddy, not a bully.
Be the reason someone smiles today. Be kind always.
A smile can make someone's day.
How to be a good friend. Help, share, and celebrate wins. Stop bullying.
I'd like to thank Ms. Casas and her team for helping our students create this. Moving forward, we will be using this as a catalyst to promote dialogue with our students and remind them of how to engage with other students in a positive way. Thank you so much. Any questions?
I got a question, Ms.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Cornett. It's of course it's very touching, and you know it's real. I mean, it's not something that you can hide. But how are we gonna have this outreach with all our kids, and make sure that also an outreach to the parents to make sure they understand exactly what bullying means and the different types of bullying, and how's that outreach gonna happen, and how are we gonna have that plan to roll out?
So we do have assemblies where the counselors will bring in the students, and this is one of the things that we'll be presenting to students. Also, we do have continuous lessons where the counselors go in and work with students weekly. Another thing that we do specifically in the elementary campuses, we do monthly luncheons. And when the parents come in for these luncheons, administrators have an opportunity to provide parents information not only on academics and assessment and goals, but also on career paths and CCMR in elementary, and then bullying as well.
Yeah, I want to thank you so much, Ms. Nancy. Gosh, that was great. It's a tearjerker, to be honest with you, but yes, I want to thank you so much. That these initiatives are amazing, man, and it really is touching. But it's very important, you know. So I just want to thank you all so much for the wonderful work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think this is going to work for our students and open up their eyes, especially of course, in the lower grades, elementary. That's where it starts. So thank you all so much. Very nice.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys, okay. Let's move on to consent agenda. 7, consent agenda under academics and finance. 7.1, a request approval of clinical education affiliation between San Benito CISD and Tapanian Pediatrics. Question? Consent. 7.2, request approval of the clinical service agreement between San Benito CISD and the University at Rio Grande Valley School of Medicine, Texas Children's Health access through telemedicine program for the 24-25 school year. Question? Consent. 7.3, request approval of the shared service agreement, arrangement agreement between San Benito CISD and Brownsville ISD Regional Day School Program for the Deaf. Question? Consent. 7.4, request approval of the memorandum of understanding between San Benito CISD and Region 1 Education Service Center for 24-25 school year. Question? Consent. 7.5, request approval of memorandum of understanding between San Benito CISD and Texas State Technical College Challenger Learning Center for the 24-25 school year. Question? Consent. 7.6, request approval of the application for the Learning Accelerated School Opportunities LASSO grant for the 24-25 school year. Question? Consent. 7.7, request approval of the state compensatory funds policy and procedure for 24-25 school year. Question? Consent. 7.8, request approval of the campus improvement plans for 24-25 school year. Question? Consent. Let's move on to agenda item under consent and business and finance. 8.1, request approval for cash account for October 2024. Question? Consent. 8.5, request approval of compensation of revenue and expenditures for the budget of October 2024. Question? Consent. 8.3, request approval of the tax collection report for October 2024. Question? Consent. 8.4, request approval of the check disbursements report for October 2024. Question? Consent. 8.5, request approval of the opinion to extend the proposal for RFP-1022 for general merchandise and services. Question? Consent. 8.6, request approval of the opinion to extend, the option to extend the proposal for RFP-1022 for meals and catering services district-wide. Question? Consent. 8.7, request approval of the option to extend the proposal for RFP-1022 for professional consulting services. Question? Consent. 8.8, request approval to award the bid proposal for the recommended by administration for RFQ-1024-HVAC for mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and engineering services. Question? Consent. 8.9, request approval for the gift and bequest for 24-25 school year. Question? Consent. 8.10, request approval of the budget amendment. Question? Consent. 8.9, request approval of the purchase over 50,000. Question? Consent. Let's move on to consent agenda under administration, request approval. 9.1, request approval for the revision of the 24-25 compensation plan. Question? Consent. 9.2, request approval of the purchase of the Altos Sham electric Kobe ovens for 6 campuses. Question? Consent. 9.3, request approval or the master local agreement between San Benito CISD and Child Nutrition Program and Region 1 Education Services Centers for 24-25 school year. Question? Consent. 9.4, request approval for ISD construction attorney contract.
Question.
Question? 9.4. Question. 9.5, request approval to authorize payment for Palmer Steel regarding steel order for the performing arts and auditorium. Question? Consent. 9.6, request approval for the board minutes for regular board meeting October 9th and the regular board meeting of October 18, 2024. Question? Consent. Can I have a motion to approve 7.1 through 9.6 for the exception of 9.4?
So move.
I got a motion by Mr. Frutoso. Can I have a second?
Second.
I got a second by Mr. Colon. All in favor? Raise your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you. 9.4, request for approval for the construction, the ICD construction attorney contract. Ms. Hernandez?
I'd like to make a motion to talk about that in executive session.
I second it. So can we have, all in favor? Motion carries. Let's go on to action agenda. 10.1, discussing possible action for 23-24 San Benito CISD district audit.
Yes, sir. This is just to approve the presentation by Mr. Montemayor, our audit for this year.
Can I have a motion? I have a motion by Mr. Corona. Can I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Reyna. All in favor? Raise your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you. 10.2, discussion of possible action of the San Benito Veterans Memorial Academy Canopy Project. Mr. Perez.
Yes, sir. So we put this on action agenda. We were speaking of the canopy project at VMA. I know we have a lot of rust on a lot of sections of the canopy, but there is a section that we really need to work on. We were waiting for a third quote. We received it this past Friday, so we put it on as an action agenda because we do need to work on it. I'm recommending that we use A1 Facilities. That's one of the vendors that we've been using for some other projects, and they're at $177,000. Right, Ms. Mata? That's what I recommend.
Where do they fall, like, out of the 3 that bid?
We had 3 bid. One was higher than that. One was lower, but they were disqualified. They weren't on one of our buying boards, so that was probably the reason for the lower bid.
And you said that this is someone we've been using, so we've had good rapport with them and everything.
We have good rapport with them. They are the ones that completed a project for our vestibules. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think one of the things to keep in also when we're dealing with these projects, these facilities too, is that, we have to keep in time the timeliness also. A lot of the times we don't ask how long it's gonna take. They may be cheaper, but, a lot of the times you have more manpower to do things a lot quicker. So I think it's something that we need to keep in mind, sir. Can I have a motion, please, to approve? I have a motion by Mr. Corona. Can I have a second?
Second.
I got a second by Mr. Gomez. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Table the discussion, possible action to terminate and/or non-renewal agreement for RBC Capital Marketing and authorize administration to provide a 30-day contractual notice.
Yes, this is, RBC is our financial advisor. We normally use a financial advisor. We're going out for bonds to get us the best rate and help us through the bonding process and selling of the bonds. So we've been with RBC for a number of years, and we just felt that it's time to go and look for something new to give us advice, especially with the new, with the $13.3 million that we're getting to help us with that as well.
Great, thank you. Can I have a motion? I got a motion, Mr. Corona, can I have a second?
Can I question something?
Sure.
Where did we advertise for those bids?
Normally, we advertise in the Valley Morning Star. You left. So I believe the Valley Morning Star for sure, and I'm not sure if San Benito News, but for sure the Valley Morning Star.
Okay, and RFP is based out of where?
San Antonio.
So, how many people bid on this RFP?
One, which is TRB. TRB Capital Markets, which is also known as Estrada Hinojosa from Edinburgh.
Okay, so only one,
Yes.
do we know how many firms that take care of that are local?
No, we actually got a response from another firm that they were gonna submit a proposal, and then they did it at the end.
And we didn't expand the radius to try to, since we had somebody out of the valley?
No, we can go out for bids again if that's what the board would like.
Because we only got one bid back, correct?
Yes.
So can you please explain to the board real quick, because it was under the finance committee, can you please explain to the board how this whole situation works with this, with this marketing consultants? Can you? Ms. Mata?
Normally, when a financial advisor is, going out for bids, it's normally when we're gonna go out for bonds. So I'm assuming, mind you, this is beforehand, RBC has been with San Benito for a number of years. They're the ones that helped with the refinancing of the bonds, with actually the issuance of the bonds that were passed for the projects currently on hand. And so normally when that happens, they're very active. And once that, you have passed your bond, and if you don't have any refinancing, they kind of take a step back, they do your disclosures that are required by the state for us to do as far as how much funds we have and the ratings and so forth. And that's basically about the most that they do. They provide us our debt book service, or debt service book, which tells the auditors, which we have to provide to them, this is how much bonds we have, this is the principal, the interest, and so forth. It's mainly financial information. So since currently we haven't passed any bonds, the most that they've done for us is the debt book service. Mind you, if we ask them for something, they do provide us the information. So that's
I
basically the way
do
it works.
recall that conversation in the finance committee meeting,
Okay.
but I also remember we talked about them coming in and presenting beforehand.
Okay.
So,
Cool. We can do that. Depends what the board would like.
Yeah, that's fine, they can come present, I mean, they're local, so that's fine. I mean, go ahead.
Either way, they're separate agenda items. Right now, we're discussing 10.3, which is just letting them know that we are gonna go out for bid again. And then for 10.4, we can actually do, right, Tony? Can we extend the time to see how many more? They're not here.
They're not here. I'm sorry.
Okay, so just real quick, Matt, so 10.3 is pretty much just to let them know that we're gonna go out, right? So we gotta
Yes,
approve this one first.
Yes, 10.3 is to notify RB. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
this to terminate.
discussing right now allows you to make the award, allows you to make the award for the next agenda item. So we already went out to bid, the board authorized that at the August or September meeting.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
The committee that authorized administration to go out for bid, administration went out for bid, now it's come before you guys for the award. So, the item before you is to provide them the 30-day notice, because you guys authorized to go out for bids, that way you guys can actually make the award. So, the authorization's already been given.
I got you.
Now it's whether or not you guys want to award it to,
TRB
And they're-
Markets, TRB Capital Markets, DBA Estrada Hinojosa.
And they're local,
They're local.
right? That's the firm that's local, ma'am?
They're from Edinburgh.
I have a question. When you said timeline, Mr. Torres, you mean timeline of the process?
Yeah, you have to make
Right.
the award, after it goes out, so that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You're not gonna make the award
Right.
tonight, and you reject the bid, but, yeah.
Okay,
You
another,
guys already authorized what you did.
okay.
Back on there, but that's what I'm.
Can we move it to executive session just to discuss? As-
The timeline's legal, as long as it's legally related and not pertain to, I don't think we ask for prices on this. As long as it doesn't have to do with pricing, we can discuss that in executive session.
I got one more question before we go. If this is not, there's no timeline, like, can we wait another month or two? Or is it something that has to be done within a certain period of time? Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's what I need to know.
You can stay with your current firm,
Okay.
but I'm saying as it pertains to this
Yes.
solicitation. Yeah.
Thank you.
Are we going to discuss both 10.3 and 10.4?
If you need some more from some legal questions, then I would suggest making a motion to discuss this in closed session and take action as it pertains to this item and the next one.
Okay.
So I move to discuss 10.3 and 10.4 in our executive session.
Okay. Can I have a second? I second it. Again, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you. Let's move on to 10.5, discussion and possible approval of the memorandum of understanding between San Benito CISD and Region 1 Education Service Center, Aspire, TSI services for 24-25 school year. Mr. Bettis?
This is also a program, I'll let Ms. Cornett explain a little more on it, but we put it as an action agenda because it's something that we want to really get in the district. And we received the quote after executive session. It's not a very high dollar amount, but it is an MOU that we need the board for the MOU. So, Ms. Cornett?
Yes, this is a software program that will help facilitate us monitoring our student progress towards college, career, and military readiness, and also provide us information to monitor more closely our outcome bonus earnings based on student performance for the year.
Have a motion? I have a motion by Ms. Hernandez. Can I have a second? I got a second by Rudy Corona. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is closed meeting. In accordance with Texas Government Code Opens Meetings Act, the board may move into closed session for the following reasons. Section 551.071, for the purpose of a private consultation with the board's attorney on any or all subjects or matters authorized by law. Section 551.074, for the purpose of considering the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, or to hear complaints or charges against a public officer or employee. Section 551.082, certain school board deliberations. It is 7:15, and we're going into executive session.
Okay, we come back into open session at exactly 9:51 PM. Let's go back to the agenda item, 9.4, request approval of ISD construction attorney contract.
I move that we approve the contract as presented in executive session.
I got a motion. Can I have a second?
Second.
I got a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Thank you. We move on to agenda item 10.3, discussion and possible action to terminate and/or renew agreement with RBC Capital Marketing and authorize administration to provide 30 days of contractual notice. Can I have a motion? No motion? 10.3 dies. 10.4, discussion and possible action to award an RFP-092-FAS Financial Advisor Service. Can I have a motion? No motion? 10.4 dies. Let's move on to 12.1, employment resignations and retirements and terminations. Mr. Pettis?
Yes, I ask to approve the employment resignations and retirements and terminations as discussed in executive session.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
I got a motion by Dr. Cruz. Can I have a second? I got a second by Mr. Colon. All in favor? Motion carries. To open to discussion, possible action on legal update on the performing arts and natatorium.
Yes, I'm asked to approve the possible actions and legal updates as discussed in executive session for the Performing Arts Center and the natatorium.
Now, a second.
I move
I have a motion.
to approve as discussed in executive session.
Okay, I
the
got a
updates.
motion by
Second.
Dr. Cruz, and I got a second by Ms. Naz. All in favor? Raise your right hand. Motion carries. Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn? I got a motion by Mr. Corona. Can I have a second by Mr. Gomez? All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, we adjourn this meeting exactly 9:53 p.m. Everybody have a good night. Thank you all.